Hello yogis, and welcome to your flow for this week. My name is Megan and I'll be guiding you. Before we begin, you're going to need a strap or a belt, or I'm using this kind of physio ribbon thing. Something along those lines. We're going to go into a bind today and really kind of get into our shoulders a bit more. So a belt is honestly going to suffice if that's all you have. So just grabbing that and putting that at the top of corner of your mat so it's easily accessible. So once you have that, we will go into a reclined butterfly. So laying flat on our backs, bringing the soles of the feet together, perhaps using some blocks to help support our legs as we open up our hips. Palms are facing up on either side, making sure our shoulders are relaxed, not right up near our ears. Slight tuck of the chin and tailbone for a long spine. And just shutting down the eyes here and landing on our mat. Noticing the thoughts that automatically come to cloud your mind. Everything that happened before you laid here, all the things you still have left to do, and not having any judgment for these thoughts, just noticing and choosing to redirect your attention to your breath. And throughout the practice, noticing your mind wander, noticing the thoughts that come to distract you, and choosing to come back to your breath. Breathing deeply, feeling your inhales expand your belly. And on the exhales, feeling yourself ground onto the mat and your hips open up a little deeper. A few more breaths here just to ground yourself. Use your hands to bring your knees together and plant the soles of your feet onto your mat. Flipping your palms down, we'll come into a few rounds of bridge. On the inhale, you're pushing into your heels, curling up your hips towards the sky, and tending your knees forward, breathing deeply into your chest, tight squeeze of the glutes. Exhale, slowly lower your spine down, hips come down last. And doing this at your own pace, inhaling up into your chest, slight pause at the top of the inhale, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, slowly lower down, upper chest, mid-chest, then hips. Noticing the space you've created every time you inhale, how you can go a little bit higher. And on your next inhale, pause here at the top of your bridge. Squeezing into the glutes, pressing into your legs, lifting your hips up a little higher. Perhaps walking your shoulders underneath you, clasping your hands. Breathing into your chest, building heat. then rolling your shoulders out. On the exhale, slowly roll down. Bringing one palm to your stomach and the other to your heart. Your shoulders are planted firmly. Then drop your knees to either side on the exhale, coming into a twist. You might want to get a little deeper in the twist. In that case, you would just cross your top leg over your bottom leg and then tend your knees towards the mat. The inhales, you're elongating your body, feeling the separation between your ribs and your hips. And on the exhale, sinking a little deeper into the twist. Inhale to come back up to center, uncrossing your legs. And exhale, dropping them to the opposite side, twisting in the other direction. Shoulders are both planted firmly on the mat. Inhale, come back up to center, feet planted. Before we start moving further, maybe using this as an opportunity to crystallize an intention for your practice. We're going to be opening up the chest, opening up the hips. Yogis often say that we carry a lot of emotion in our hips. Of course, when we open up the chest, we think of our heart chakra. So I invite you to have an intention to be open, to acknowledge how each pose makes you feel, and to be playful in this practice. When you're ready, we'll meet in a tabletop position at the center of your mat. From tabletop, your knees are underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, fingertips are wide, slight tuck of the tailbone for a neutral spine. We're going to get into our shoulders right away. So inhale, push into your hands and feel your shoulder blades separate, like you're doming, like the top of a push-up. Imagining my hand is just resting in between your shoulder blades and you're breathing it away with every inhale, pushing it. On the exhale, staying with arms straight, slowly lowering your chest and bringing your shoulder blades together. Inhale, pushing your chest back up, doming at the shoulders. Exhale, lower your chest down. Shoulder blades come together. Inhale, doming at the chest. Exhale, sinking your chest. Last one, inhale, doming up at the chest, separating those shoulder blades. And then pausing here, straighten out your left leg and your back leg. You're in a plank pose. Feeling strong here, top of a push-up. Exhale, come into a downward dog, hips towards the sky, let it go. Any movement here that feels good. Maybe pedaling out your feet, getting into the hamstrings, wagging your tail. You're intending your heels towards the mat, curling your sit bones up, making sure there's no tension in your neck, maybe doing some yeses and nos with your head. And then finding some stillness in your downward dog. On your inhale, coming on your tippy toes like a wave plank. Exhale, deep bend in the knees, send your hips back, straighten out your legs, downward dog. And we'll flow like this for 3 more breaths. Inhaling into plank, slower than you would like, through water, pausing slightly even in plank, and exhale, wind it back. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Start walking your hands towards your feet. Generous bend in your knees. We're coming into a ragdoll. And I invite you to bring your arms up over you. Your palms are facing forward in your ragdoll. Getting into the shoulders again, opening them up. The generous bend in your knees helps release the lower back. Breathing deeply into your shoulders, into your back, body. And bring the hands back down to your mat. Hands onto your shins. Inhale, straighten out the legs, straighten out your back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, generous bend in the knees. Exhale, slowly roll yourself up all the way to stand, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head and shoulders come up last. Shoulders might reach up to your ears and then roll down your spine. Finding Tadasana at the back of your mat. Palms facing forward. Feeling strong and powerful here. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold over. Inhale, halfway lift and pause in your halfway lift. Feeling your sit bones curling upwards. Bringing the weight into the toes. Light on your heels. Exhale, weight back in your heels, forward fold. And walk yourself back into a downward dog. From downward dog, inhale into plank. Exhale, either drop your knees or slowly lower all the way down. 3 rounds of cobra, fingertips underneath your shoulder blades. Inhale, push into the mat and peel your upper back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, and pause. See if you can lift your hands off the mat in cobra. Perhaps even clasping your hands behind you and rolling your shoulders open. You're feeling good here, maybe even seeing if you can lift the feet up off the mat. And exhale, let it all go. Curling the toes under, inhale through plank or table. Exhale, downward dog. Coming to sit on your heels, drop the knees. Grabbing your belt. This is a good opportunity to get a good stretch in your feet as well. So I'm curling the toes of my feet underneath. Sitting tall on the back. Sitting tall on my heels. Grabbing your belt or your strap, whatever you have. And just taking some time to floss our shoulders. So grabbing either end. And then playing with the movement. Going from one side to another. Seeing how far back we can go. Noticing when it starts to get sticky. Not letting go of our focus on our breath. And just playing around with your body, noticing how open or closed or stiff or loose your shoulders are, and creating additional space. This is not meant to be painful. No pain should be had here. Just a nice stretch. So feeling your shoulders, maybe even playing with coming, bringing it forward and bringing it back. Just another minute of free movement here as you floss out your shoulders. You're finding a sticky spot, maybe stillness there, breathing deeply, sending your breath to create space. Getting a full range of motion within your body. And then putting the belt or strap at the top of your mat where you can grab it later. I'm gonna whack my feet to the mat to let go of that stretch and my toes, and we'll be back in downward dog. Starting to flow here, inhale, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Your hips are parallel, toes are pointed downwards. Pushing equally into your hands and into your foot. Inhale, you lift your heel a little higher. Exhale, bend the knee and take a big step to the outside of your right foot. Drop your left heel, and on the exhale, roll up into a warrior two. So your left heel is along the short end of your mat, your left foot, sorry. And your right knee is intending over your right pinky toe. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Reaching arms up either direction. Inhale, flip your front palm and reverse your warrior. Reach back. Maintaining a generous bend in your front knee and getting a nice side body stretch. Perhaps using your left hand to curl around and tucking it in between or in your hips, on your thigh. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Plant your right hand down by your foot, opening up just briefly here. Maybe using a block to bring the ground a little closer to you. And then exhale, dropping your left hand down, take a big step towards the back of your mat, downward dog. Noticing here in downward dog how different your body might feel from one side to the other now. Feeling the energy you just created. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg lifts this time. Inhaling to reach it up a little higher. Exhale, bend the knee. Big step, left foot to the outside of left hand. Drop the right heel and slowly make your way into a warrior two. The exhales, you're sinking a little deeper. Inhales, you're feeling yourself lengthen from every direction. Inhale, flip your front palm, wave it back, reverse your warrior. Maybe coming into a half bind, your left hand into your hip crease. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. And on the next exhale, dropping your left hand down, opening up gently here. I'm feeling a really good stretch in my left hips. And exhale, drop your right hand down, downward dog. Option to find child's pose for a moment, or join me into a flow. Inhale, rolling like a wave into plank. Exhale, lower down completely. Clasping your hands behind your shoulder, like behind your back, my goodness. Inhale, roll your shoulders, lifting your chest up and lifting your feet up. On the inhale, you feel yourself lifting up. And on the exhale, you're grounding yourself into this moment. Feeling strong, intending your heels together. Let it all go on your next exhale. Curl the toes underneath. Inhale through plank or table. Exhale, downward dog. Finding your breath here. Inhale, three-legged dog, right foot lifts. Pausing here. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. Your heel is intended towards your bum. Your shoulders are maintaining parallel. And your right knee is intended towards the ceiling. You're opening up the hip here. Slight tuck of the tailbone to make sure you're protecting your back. Inhale, come onto your left tippy toes. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your left shoulder. Pause, and then step it through, dropping the right foot to your outside your right hand. Drop the left foot and come into a warrior two. Inhale, flip the palm and dance it back, extend your warrior, or reverse your warrior. Maybe coming into a half bind. Really making sure you're getting a side bend here, it's not a back bend. Exhale, come back to warrior two. And drop your hand down. We're coming into this extended side angle. So from here, you're going to flip your left hand that's reaching up so that your palm is facing behind you. And you're gonna tuck it back in towards that hip crease. So working on opening up the shoulder here, stacking shoulder on shoulder. If you're finding yourself falling forward, this is where you're really gonna stop and kind of work on in your practice. If you have a bit more in you, you might work on playing with grabbing your hands behind your back and coming into a bind. This is where your strap may come in handy. So using it to connect both hands, making sure that you're not just resting completely on your thigh, creating additional space here. So you're keeping that tuck, you're opening up your shoulders, you're strengthening your side body, your legs, maybe clasping at the hands. And when you're ready, exhale, let it go, come back into a downward dog. We're gonna have another opportunity to play with that. So let it go. If that was confusing or complicated or your first time trying to bind. And we'll try the other side. So inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, pause here. On the exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip. Noticing maybe a difference from one side to the other already. Inhale, come high up on your tippy toes. Exhale, left knee to left shoulder, slight pause, and drop the foot down. Drop your right heel and make your way into a warrior two. Sink in here. Inhale, flip your palm over, reverse your warrior. Half bind option to bring your right hand to your left thigh. And exhale, come back to warrior two. Plant your left hand down, reach your right arm up. Again, you might just play with flipping your palm and reaching in towards your thigh and your hip fold. Or you might play with the bind, using the belt to help you, using your left hand to grab the belt, open up the chest, or if you have the space, grabbing at your hands. Weight equally distributed in your feet, not just dumping into your thigh. Breathing here. I know this is really challenging. I know I'm struggling. Noticing how it's harder to be distracted in these tough postures. And when you're ready, exhale, letting it go, stepping it back, downward dog. And either finding child's pose or joining me for a flow. Inhale into plank. Exhale, lower. This time we'll either inhale cobra or you'll push up into your hands and your feet, coming into an upward dog. Exhale, lowering down and inhaling through plank or rolling over, coming into downward dog. And we'll join you in child's pose if that's where you are. So I'm gonna do a wide-legged child's pose. What I like to do sometimes too, sitting back on your heels, is bringing my hands in between my legs and resting on one cheek, shutting down the eyes. We're gonna keep moving, but we wanna find our rhythm of breath. Let go of everything that just happened. And remember our intention to be open, to have fun. If you do have one cheek to the mat, flipping your head over for the opposite cheek. Back into a downward dog and meet there. Strap is at the top of our mat, so we can use it again. So from downward dog, inhale, three-legged dog, right leg lifts. Open up the hip right away this time. Inhale, come high up on your left tippy toes, and exhale, big step through, finding yourself into a warrior two. We won't reverse our warrior this time, we'll just come straight into the bind. So inhaling to extend our arms out, feeling strong in warrior two. Exhale, drop the right hand down. Perhaps just doing a half bind, bringing your left hand onto your right hip, or using your right hand to lift yourself to grab onto your left. You might even just use your shirt, honestly. And opening up here. If you're feeling strong in your bind, you might try to focus on bringing weight into your right foot, closing up a little bit of your stance, and playing with lifting up your left foot and coming into a binded half moon. If you're feeling particularly playful, keeping your eyes focused on one part of the ground. Your heel is intending to be aligned with your hips. Knowing it's okay to fall out of it. And saving enough energy to come back to your bind, your extended side angle. And exhale, letting it go, coming back into a downward dog. And we'll drop our knees here. Sit back on our heels. Take another moment to put our hands on our heart and our stomach. Shut down our eyes. Be grateful for our health, for the body that we have. And we'll come into the other side, coming into a downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open it up right away. Inhale, light on your tippy toes. Exhale, big step through. Left foot to left pinky. Drop the right heel and roll yourself up into a warrior two. Just feeling strong in warrior two here. Again, we're always making sure we have that slight tuck of the tailbone to protect our spine. Inhale, we feel strong. Exhale, drop the left hand down, right arm reaches up. Maybe staying here or flipping our right palm to come into a half bind, or coming into the full expression of a full bind. Breathing here. This is our last bit of effort. Maybe heel toeing to your back foot in to shorten your stance. Bringing your weight into your left foot and playing with a half moon bind. You might even just play with half moon if you like. Saving enough energy to gently come down. Bring your left hand out, unrelease your bind, and come into a downward dog. Last vinyasa, inhale like a wave into plank. Exhale, lower down completely. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale through plank. Exhale, downward dog. Coming to sit in the middle of our mat. We'll come into a seated forward fold. So our legs are extended forward. We're sitting tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bringing your belly towards your thighs, reaching forward, and finding a spot to rest your hands and your head. An invitation to bend into the knees to get a nice release in your lower back, and let everything go here. Finding our rhythm of breath and slowing it down. Coming back to our intention. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? Walk yourself back up to seated, and we'll make our way onto our backs, laying flat. Inhale, bring your left leg in towards your chest, give it a tight squeeze. And exhale, use your right hand to gently guide it into a twist. Inhale back to center and stretch it out long. Inhale, right leg in, tight squeeze, and exhale, come into a twist. Noticing perhaps the space in your spine and your shoulders. lighter. I feel like my breath, like my blood is circulating, is pumping everywhere. Inhale, come back to center and find Shavasana. Arms alongside you, palms facing up. Scanning your body from head to toe and releasing any tensions left in your body. Starting from your eyebrows, letting go of the muscles around your eyes, dropping your tongue from the roof of your mouth, feeling your shoulders sink, feeling your stomach expand and contract. Breathing into the space in your hips, down your legs, and without moving, feeling every toe. If you have the time, I invite you to stay in this posture as long as you like. To come out, gently wiggling your fingers and your toes, making circles with your wrists and ankles. Rolling over onto either side and coming into a fetal pose. Thanking yourself for having taken the time to practice today and saying something kind to yourself, something motivating. If you're coming out and you're slowly making your way into a seated position, thank you for playing with me today. I hope you enjoyed yourself and you feel lighter going into the next week. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.